So my co-host, Alex, isn't with us today for a very good reason, given that it's his wedding weekend. So I thought I'd bring on Andrew Prime instead. He's our lead videographer at DLM to help introduce this episode. Andrew, how are you doing today?
Thanks, Jeff. I'm doing pretty good. Working with production changes is just part of the job, and I'm glad that we're still able to pull off a great episode today.
So you usually work behind the scenes to make everything happen, from creating the framework for this podcast to editing this final production.
Yep, that's right. I usually work behind the scenes, working to keep our clients' video productions and podcast shows moving forward. Over the last almost 5 years working for Digital Limelight Media, I've helped coordinate on-site production with more than 20 different clients and process content for more than 200.
200 is a lot of projects. Is there anything in those 200 that sticks out to you as a particular success?
Yeah, I think a project that's worth highlighting is the Helpful Woman podcast. Since the pandemic began, we've worked on more than 150 episodes for the Helpful Woman podcast, and it's now one of the fastest growing podcasts in women's health. Even been so successful that we have a spin-off show called High Risk Birth Stories.
Well, it's awesome to hear that that's doing so well and highlights how influential a podcast can be for medical practices. Is there anything our listeners should know or do if they're interested in video or podcasting services?
If you're interested in video or podcasting production here at DLM, you can reach out to us at info@dlmconversion.com. That's info@dlmconversion.com. And you can put the subject line video in your email, and a member of our team will get back to you soon.
All right, let's get on with the show. And by the way, don't mind any snow plows you may hear in the background. We live in Michigan, so it's pretty much unavoidable.
Welcome to the Limelight Podcast, your source for medical marketing news. Get insights into the latest trends, learn about groundbreaking marketing strategies, and discover the newest tools. We'll let you know what questions you should be asking and where to find the answers. All this and more brought to you by the team at Digital Limelight Media.
Our topic this episode is the history and future of Digital Limelight Media. A lot's changed in the decade or so since we were founded, and no one is better suited to process those changes than our founder and CEO, Kyle Peacy. Kyle, welcome to the podcast.
Hey, Jeff. Thanks for having me.
So why did you choose to start DLM?
I was exposed to the aesthetic vertical prior to starting DLM, and I saw a need for a more honest and transparent digital marketing solution for aesthetic practices. Practices know they need SEO services, but at the time when I was in this industry about 11 years ago, I saw a lot of distrust in the digital marketing and SEO space. So I wanted to create trust and integrity in a market that lost trust in search companies. There were a lot of first generation marketing companies in this vertical, but it seemed like they focused more on sales than they did on service. I've always considered DLM to be a second generation or second tier marketing company. We weren't the first in the industry, but we were part of a second group that was typically started by the millennial generation. We focus on client retention and growth. It's the opposite of what I was exposed to early on.
So how did you land on the name Digital Limelight Media?
My favorite colors are green, black, and white, and I knew I wanted a word that meant being at the top or in the forefront because the emphasis of DLM was going to be strongly suited around SEO. And the word Limelight popped up, and I thought, hey, that's really suiting. And from there, I wanted to put a word in front of it and a word after Limelight. But the acronym, honestly, was more important to me than the whole word itself. So DLM, Digital Limelight Media, became the name of the company. And that's how DLM was born. And
tell me about the early days of founding this marketing company. What was it like in those first years of DLM?
It was a hustle. Was it easy? Nope. But I never once thought we would fail. We were almost always short-staffed and working around the clock to provide great service, which ultimately resulted in a stream of new client referrals. And that's honestly how we would grow the business. But like most companies, we had some growing pains when it came to scaling healthy. But we always persevered and built strong processes and a very efficient technology stack, which has resulted in two programs called Internal and Insight. Internal is an internal system which actually powers Insight, which is client-facing. And that's really become the backbone of DLM and allows us to help meet our value proposition of transparency and honesty to our clients. So it kind of goes back to why I had even originally decided to start DLM in the first place.
Absolutely. Are there any clients that you still have from those early days? Are there long-standing clients that we still service today with these new products? Or has the turnover been to the point where there may be some older clients, but not necessarily decades old clients?
Absolutely. A lot of the originals, actually. 10 years is going to be April of 2022. It's hard to believe that we're going on a decade here. Time just goes by really fast, obviously. But, looking back at the client list, there's a lot of people that have been with us from that first year.
That's great. Testament to the service quality here. So what do you like about leading and working at DLM?
Early on, it was definitely SEO and the digital marketing side of things. My background is in search. I just love the competitive side of SEO and just being able to more or less game Google's algorithm to benefit a client. But over the years, that's certainly changed. I still have a love for search and digital marketing, but more so than ever, I enjoy being able to see how our colleagues' careers are growing and watching them raise families and get married, and just seeing DLM be a part of something special, something that's bigger than marketing. I've also grown accustomed to working on my business as opposed to working for my business. That took a lot of time to be able to scale to a point where I can spend time on the business, but it's been really great getting to spend my days on growth and innovation as opposed to the day-to-day.
Yeah, and at the time of this recording, there's actually an employee wedding this weekend, I believe. So truly is growing families and supporting people as they kind of journey through life. So if you could take a single word to describe DLM, what would it be?
It would definitely be persistence. We're always looking for ways to improve our level of service and our scope of work as well as technology stack. We're never quite satisfied with where we are or what the status quo is. We tend to get most excited about the most off-the-wall innovative ideas, and even to this day, we'll do roundtables, and the most wild ideas tend to be the ones that we run towards. So it's a challenge that we're generally seeking, and if you say we can't do something or if it seems impossible, we're almost always working around the clock to prove that concept wrong and find a way to do it.
So where do you see DLM growing in the next years as we reach our 10-year anniversary and look for the next 10 years?
I know this is ambitious, but it's something that my partners and I talk about quite often, and I really think it's an achievable goal, but I see DLM being the most well-rounded and largest marketing technology company for medical practices in our industry. I don't see a competitor, honestly, that has a better tech stack, a better team or culture, or service offering at the price point that we're positioned at.
Wow, that is ambitious. I assume there's some sort of plan for getting there. What is that plan?
It definitely is ambitious, but it's really to continue doing what we've been doing the last decade. It's to push forward and question everything that we're doing. It's not getting comfortable with where we are or where we've come from. So we'll continue to lean on our partners within the industry, as well as integrations we have formed and the strong team and culture we've developed over the years to continue to provide top of industry customer service to ensure high client retention while experiencing good growth, but more so having the client retention and the growth working simultaneously. We'll also keep innovating and building affordable technology solutions that can help practices become more efficient and profitable, because that's ultimately why they're hiring us. One such application we just launched is Iris Conversational AI, which is a bot that sits on our clients' websites and allows website visitors to initiate conversations via text messaging, which helps improve the visitor to lead rate and provides a different outlet for website visitors to engage the communication with the practice, which is through their phone.
Yeah, Iris is our newest service offering and one that just further expands our core product, DLM Insight, and more on Insight in just a second.
If you're looking for a great way to track your SEO progress in 2022 and beyond, look no further than DLM Insight, brought to you by the medical marketing experts at Digital Limelight Media. Our proprietary tool and industry connections present relevant marketing metrics in an easy-to-use dashboard.
Our team would love to show you how DLM Insight can help your practice grow in 2022. If you'd like to see a demonstration of DLM Insight, contact us today at info@dlmconversion.com. That's info@dlmconversion.com. DLM offers a lot of services which can be overwhelming, frankly, for people who are just getting started looking for a marketing technology company. Kyle, can you break down the main ways DLM serves medical practices for us?
DLM is an all-in-one marketing technology company that offers top of funnel, middle of the funnel, and bottom of the funnel MarTech services. And when I refer to as funnel, I'm referring to the sales funnel within an organization. At the top of the funnel, our services include website design and branding, SEO, paid advertising management, social media marketing, traditional ad management, and display advertising. Our middle of the funnel services include review management, workflow, text through SMS and email automations, customer relationship management or CRM applications and integrations, and email marketing. And our bottom of the funnel services include ROI and EMR or PM integrations, which allow us to get accurate ROI reporting based on the marketing that we're doing for the practice, as well as retention marketing services.
So, of all of those many services, are there any in particular that you would highlight as being maybe the most practical or profitable?
So the service that generates the most new patient acquisition for our clients across the board is search. So search engine optimization, SEO, as well as some paid advertising. And if we're talking paid advertising, specifically paid advertising across Google's ad network, social media paid advertising is good as well, but the lead quality tends to be less than the lead quality of Google paid ads. But these two services account for the vast majority of our clients' new patient growth. I also strongly recommend practices to start using a CRM to manage their leads. A lot of practices think they should spend more money on marketing if their leads are not scheduling or booking an appointment, but more often than not, the lack of a lead scheduling an appointment comes down to an inefficient lead management process within the practice. I can't emphasize enough the importance of a centralized location to manage the communication of leads prior to them booking an appointment. If that's being managed currently out of a spreadsheet, or you're just calling or emailing a lead one or two times after a lead comes in at different intervals of time each time a lead does come in, then you're definitely in need of a CRM. A CRM really is a way to get more value out of your marketing that you're spending money on today. Your practice should also be fully integrated from a technology perspective. The marketing and EMR should communicate. A one-directional relationship known as a pull relationship is sufficient. You really don't need bi-directional relationships. What you want to gain from an EMR integration with marketing is more clarity on your marketing referral source return. That way, strategy can be adjusted on the fly based on real-time data, not assumptions or manual or human calculations. Doing a manual or human calculation has a lot more room for error, takes more time, and the marketing actually ends up being more reactive as opposed to proactive. So it's really leveraging the different applications' data to tell a story and leveraging your marketing team, DLM, to facilitate the strategy for the practice.
Yeah, you said something there toward the end that I think is key to basically everything that you're talking about, which is data. These are not just, oh, we think these go well when we invest in SEO or advertising. It's data that we see from our clients that we've collected over the past 10 years saying, no, these are the services that reliably provide better quality leads and more patient appointments.
Yeah, it really goes back to the reason, honestly, why I started DLM in the first place. The emphasis back then was just so strongly built around search because that's what I knew most. But at the end of the day, the lack of trust that there was within the SEO industry as a whole, I knew that the only way that we would gain trust and have good client retention and experience good growth and really truly make an impact in the aesthetic space was if we were able to show our value in terms of revenue, not in terms of you rank number one for tummy tuck in Grand Rapids.
Sure.
And you had 3,000 impressions and 50 people to your website off that keyword. At the end of the day, honestly, that doesn't matter. Like, if we're doing our job with search, you are going to get more traffic. But what matters is how much money are you making from our efforts? What's actually falling to the bottom?
So you said our SEO and paid ad services are generally the two things that drive new patient acquisitions primarily. Is one better than the other, or is the best approach to use both of them in tandem?
Yeah, that's a good question, and one we hear pretty often. Generally speaking, the lead quality from SEO is better than the lead quality for paid ads. However, paid ads allow you to test keywords before really dedicating a lot of time and energy from an SEO standpoint into a keyword that may or may not be worth it. It also really depends on the strategy and the positioning for the practice when we bring them on or as we start to work with them. An established practice, for example, might be bringing on a new service, or they might want to expand their target market to a neighboring location. And that is a great opportunity for us to run paid ads. And we can test those areas. We can try to attract more people to different services from those locations. Other practices might be getting started, today, and their website's never been online. And in those types of situations, paid advertising is pretty much a must. I would say a lot of our clients, if I had to put a percentage on it, I'd probably say about 75% of our clients do paid advertising in tandem with search. It's a combination of two of those efforts that really maximize the new patient acquisition, but the strategies are different from one another.
Yeah, it almost sounds like paid ads are a quick and, I don't want to say quick and dirty, but a quick approach to generating new traffic to the website. But in the long term, if that website isn't optimized for search, it's not going to turn into actual patients. And so, yeah, it does matter that they work in tandem, but they have different purposes. That's interesting. Another thing you said was that having a CRM was crucial to practices driving new patient acquisition. Tell us more about why CRMs are so important.
I can't really stress this one enough, and I hear it all the time. When I'm prospecting new opportunities, especially, they'll say, hey, I'll ask a question, are you currently doing marketing? Yes, we're doing marketing. Do you know how many leads? Yeah, no, not really. Well, what's your current process? I think somebody calls them, how long does it take until they call the lead? Well, it could take up to a few days. What happens if the lead doesn't answer? Are you trying again? Not really. Are you emailing them? We're supposed to be. So building really refined process around all of those questions and streamlining different elements of that process is really where you're going to pick up the most value from your marketing, frankly. And the CRM really helps a practice organize the communication to their leads and allows their staff to work collectively on those leads. So one staff member can see where somebody else left off on a lead, and they can pick up where that person left off. So within DLM Insight, one of our applications is the CRM, which allows us to automate some of the lead communication, saving their staff time. That way, the staff can simply go into the CRM, initiate a phone call, and schedule a follow-up task. When the task comes due, the staff member who the task was assigned to will receive a notification to complete the scheduled task. So no need to worry about sending similar emails or text messages to leads. The CRM can automate that and organize the touch points to those leads in a central location. So it's those follow-up tasks, it's the automation, it saves the staff time, it creates consistency, it improves the overall return on your investment from the marketing that you're spending money on.
Yeah, so it sounds like CRMs are critical to centralizing marketing processes and helping staff members simply save time in their day-to-day. I know that DLM Insight has a CRM as one of its many applications, but I also know that there's a lot more that Insight is capable of doing. So my question to you is, I guess, what's the focus or goal of Insight as it relates to medical practices marketing efforts?
Yeah, Jeff, that's a good question. The overall goal is to generate as much revenue for our clients as possible. This can be accomplished by generating more leads, converting more leads to appointments, and saving staff time by automations, as well as providing their team with more valuable data points. This is where marketing technology comes into. We've referred to ourselves during this podcast as a marketing technology company, or MarTech. At our core, we are a marketing company. But in order for us to reach our goal for our client, which is to drive significant amount of revenue to their practice, we need technology and integrations. So the various applications that we use internally to do our job have a lot of different data points. And if we were to rely on manually analyzing these data points, we would always be reactive as opposed to proactive. So that's why Insight was honestly born. was to pull in the data from these different applications that we use on a daily basis and do the legwork from an analysis standpoint for us so that we can scale up, so that we can provide much better insights for our clients. If anyone listening is interested in learning more about DLM, feel free to contact me at kyle@dlmconversion.com. That's Kyle at DLM as in Matt, conversion.com. Or you can call me directly at 866-420-2824. Thanks.
Kyle, it's been great talking to you. Hope you've had a great time on the podcast.
It's been fun. Thanks, Jeff.
Hey, Alex from DLM here. One question I get from medical practices all the time is, what can I do to gain a better reputation online? The answer is DLM Review, a reputation management tool designed to make review requests simple, easy, and a natural part of your practice. It even has the ability to weed out bad reviews so that they don't make it to public platforms like Yelp, Google, or Facebook. Contact our team at info@DLM Conversion today to get the conversation started. That's info@DLMConversion.com.
So as you know, from time to time, we like to bring in additional guests to tease future content. This week, we'll be hearing a bit from Mike Ryan about how DLM can help manage pay-per-click advertising to drive traffic to your practice website. For now, we'll keep it brief and hopefully pique some interest. So thanks for being here, Mike.
Yeah, Jeff, thanks for having me. Happy to be here.
So if there's one thing you would mention to someone who doesn't know everything about the power of pay-per-click, what would it be?
I'd say that the biggest thing with pay-per-click is being able to get in front of people who are proactively searching for whatever service you provide, which is something that's very unique and puts us in a good position to acquire new patients, new sales, get people calling into the practice.
And what distinguishes PPC, that's the acronym for pay-per-click, from other types of digital marketing tools?
People proactively searching for you. Google created this concept about a decade ago called the zero moment of truth. And what they mean by that is that first moment when someone starts on a path to purchasing or getting a new service. So the first time someone thinks about what type of toothpaste I need to get whiter teeth, or the top breast augmentation surgeon in my area, whatever it might be. And more often than not, nowadays in particular, people are going to Google to start that purchasing process. I mean, in the time we're listening to this podcast right now, there's over 7.5 million searches on Google, and you can be assured that some of these people are potential patients for you. It's not like a billboard where you hope somebody sees it and they may be interested. We're getting in front of people who are proactively looking for you right now.
That is a powerful way to, as you said, acquire new patients and find people who are intending to purchase products and services. So, Mike, that's all the time we have today, but I'm looking forward to talking with you more on this topic in a later episode.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm looking forward to it.
Well, it's too bad Alex wasn't here for this recording. I know he would have enjoyed this conversation, but he will be back in the next episode, so I hope you'll join us then for more conversations with the team here at DLM. Remember, you can always reach out to us with any questions, comments, or business inquiries by emailing us at info@dlmconversion.com. That's info@dlmconversion.com.
Thanks for joining us on the Limelight podcast. We hope you learned something new today that adds value to your practice. Remember to talk to an expert about your specific situation before making decisions based on the information provided in this podcast. Digital Limelight Media, LLC, its employees, partners, sponsors, and guests are not responsible for any action taken or not taken as a result of listening to this podcast. As always, we welcome your questions and encourage you to reach out about any of the services we offer at DLM. Have a great day.